Hank Johnson. Thank you, Congressman. I must admit I had some apprehensions. I was president of Miles College in Alabama for 15 years. Had a great relationship with the governor, the congresspersons, and I was apprehensive about the relationship that I would have here. But when I met this congressman, first of all, unlike many politicians, I did not have to find him. He found me. And we speak on a regular basis. This is one of the strongest advocates for historically black colleges in the nation. Thank you to our alum, Congressman Hank Johnson. Of course, to your Grand Basileus, Dr. David Marion. Thank you, Mr. Grand Basileus, for being with us today, and we will make sure that you keep your word to your daughter, and we will have those T-shirts, and they are en route now. Of course, to Board Chair Darrell Johnson, to the Vice Chairs Fred Mitchell and Leon Smith, to the managers and directors of this great initiative, Horace Austin, and all who are present here today. Thank you for what you all mean to Clark Atlanta University. I have two leaders here with me of this great university who serve as members of the Board of Trustees. We have Miss Ermina Hill here with us, the alumni representative, and we have the National Alumni President, Mr. Devin White. This is a momentous occasion. The Beta Psi 1923 Foundation Incorporated's Unity Brick Unveiling. When I first came to Clark Atlanta University, I shall never forget that first homecoming. When Sam Burston, who thinks he can always tell me what to do, he says, "We've got to go over here. This is Beta Psi. You have to meet these brothers." And I went into the room over there in Coles, and I met you all.
Yes, sir.
And you all embraced me and encouraged me. And I'm telling you, this is not in my remarks, but this is how I felt on that day, being new to this city, new to this institution. These men embraced me. And you all told me what you were going to do. And that's one thing I love about my brothers of Omega Psi Phi. If they tell you they're going to do something, they're going to do it.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Promise kept. And that's what you all have done. And I tell you, I have a special place in my heart for this fraternity. I remember I was at the University of Louisville, and I was in undergrad, right? Went to visit my girlfriend at Howard University at that time, and I was trying to decide which fraternity to pledge, Dr. Gibbs. And I went and I pledged. When I got back home, I decided to go Alpha Phi Alpha. And then what was interesting was that I was having a birthday party, right? I was having my birthday party, and the men of Omega were right there having a birthday party, having a party, a Founders Day.
Okay.
On November the 17th.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my Lord. So we started having the Alphas and the Omegas. We got together every year and we formed collaboration. So I thank you for being my brothers, because you all, when I tell you, you all really don't know what I'm saying. Again, my chief of staff, Dr. Gibbs, will tell you, when I was at Miles College, if I ran into problems, that if it got bad, it wasn't a lot of other folks that I would expect. The men of Omega would pick up the phone and call folks at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, why are you messing with French? Y'all don't know that's our boy. Y'all need to leave him alone. That's a true story. That's the relationship that I have and have had with you guys. And I thank you all for keeping your word on raising, you said $100,000. But that check said $125,000. Won't you give that a hand?
Yeah.
Thank you for what you all mean to this university, to this institution. And thank you for being who you are to the men of this institution. This is an institution that is predominantly 73% female. I was speaking to the president of Spelman recently, and she was saying to me that, because we have a special mission because we are female. I said, but you need to realize if we're 73% female, we have similar missions. But that means for those men that are on campus, they need men to mentor them, to tell them about projects like this, and to teach them about how to be men.
Yes, sir.
And I want to thank you all for that, because you never let us down in doing that. Your benevolence, brothers, deserves a rousing applause. You've raised the bar. And I don't want us to be confused here. Trustee Hill, you heard what was said by the Grand Basileus. You heard what was said about turning the tide in alumni giving. 10% is a dismal rate amongst HBCUs.
Yeah.
And it's not sustainable. We have to really come together. And when we come together for times like homecoming, you all are really setting the stage, because what I have to do for the last 20 years as in this leadership role is I have to prepare to give to alums at homecoming. Come on, y'all, talk to me.
Yeah, come on.
I have to prepare to give to alums. And what frustrates me, and I'm not even going to go through here, I'm going to say this and I'm going to be through. When I go home to Louisville, Kentucky, to my mother's house, when I was younger, when I was in law school, I'd go home at Thanksgiving and I'd eat the turkey and the dressing and I'd have a good time, and I'd get in my car and I'd go on back home. But I had to stop and think, that turkey didn't just get there by itself. My mother should not have to scrape and save for Thanksgiving and me and family come in and eat up everything and then leave. So I had to learn at Thanksgiving that I would make sure I paid for the meal. My mother didn't have to pay for that. You all are demonstrating the same thing today. There's not enough giving back to the institution at homecoming.
Yeah.
It's come, take. It should be about coming home and giving back to other mother. And I want to thank you all, Beta Psi Foundation 1923, for coming home and giving back. I love you.
Thank
I
you.
respect you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you. The last thing I'll say, Fred, is that thank you, sir, for acknowledging the gifts that have come in recently. Mackenzie Scott, $15 million. Google, $5 million. House of Cheatham, $3 million. And my phone rang on the stage, and I knew I needed to answer this call. Normally, I would just leave it, let it go. But I gave the phone to my chief of staff and asked him to answer it. He came back. He said, "That was a good call, Mr. President. We just received word that I can't give the donor's name, but we just received another $1 million today."
Amen. All right.
So thank you all, because you all are setting the stage, the standard, and you all are setting the example for this institute.